It's clear the era of folding, flexible displays is well and truly upon us in 2022. That's why today, we take a look at the ASUS ZenBook 17 Fold OLED. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell for daily injections of review videos and more in your timeline. The design. For the ZenBook 17 Fold, it's almost as if ASUS took the blueprint for the ThinkPad X1 Fold, put it in a photocopier and then hit the enlarge button. Sure, the ZenBook is a little prettier thanks to some leather panels and a bit of lovely frosted glass around back, but it's clear ASUS didn't try to deviate too much from Lenovo's formula. We have a big flexible OLED display with no obvious crease that's augmented by a built-in kickstand and a detachable magnetic keyboard that neatly fits inside the gap that forms when the system is folded in half. While it's a bit bulky, measuring 1.25 inches thick in clamshell mode and weighing just over 4 pounds including its keyboard, the ZenBook 17 Fold is still lighter than a lot of similarly sized traditional laptops like Dell's XPS 17. The display and cameras. As for the screen itself, ASUS touts a peak brightness of 500 nits for HDR content, though in more typical conditions, I found that the ZenBook outputs closer to 350 nits, which is plenty bright for general use. Around the outside of the display, there are half-inch bezels that do look kind of chunky compared to other modern laptops. The real highlight of the 2560 by 1920 OLED panel is all the bright colors and deep blacks. I know OLED screens are becoming more popular on premium systems, but the vibrancy you get from them is even more impressive on a flexible display. The screen's one small weakness is its shiny coating, which likes to pick up fingerprints while also being a bit more reflective than your typical glossy panel. To handle video calls, the ZenBook features a nifty set of cameras which include a 5MP main shooter and some IR sensors, which can be used for facial login or to detect your presence. This allows the laptop to automatically lock itself when you walk away for some added security or to turn on a screensaver to reduce battery drain and prevent potential burn-in. The performance. The ZenBook 17 Fold is pretty well-rounded with an Intel Core i7-1250U CPU, 16 GB of RAM and 1 TB of storage. Performance was generally smooth and I only encountered a few hitches once the battery dipped below 5%. But the choice of a U-series chip means the ZenBook isn't quite as powerful as many traditional clamshells. Which means it can handle typical productivity and even a bit of very casual gaming, just don't expect much more than that. The keyboard and software. In theory, its magnetic keyboard is the perfect companion for a flexible hybrid. It connects wirelessly over Bluetooth and its tailored dimensions mean you can tuck it away neatly inside the display while traveling. You even get 1.4mm of key travel, which is pretty great on a peripheral this thin. At first, the keyboard struggled to stay connected, which meant I had to unpair and repair it every time the ZenBook went to sleep. To make matters worse, while the system is supposed to automatically recognize when you lay the keyboard on top of the bottom half of the screen in laptop mode, for some reason the ZenBook simply ignored that procedure when launching certain apps. This causes everything to jump back into full screen mode until you lift the keyboard and drop it down again, which is downright frustrating especially when you're trying to play a game. It's not just me either. Practically every other person who has reviewed the ZenBook 17 Fold has encountered similar issues, which is a real shame because it puts a real damper on the device's potential. Furthermore, while the keyboard has a USB-C port for charging and excellent battery life, upwards of 12 hours, you still have to charge it separately. The battery life. When it comes to longevity, one of the big fears with a flexible convertible like this is that all the extra support required to hold everything together takes up valuable room where a battery might go. But the ZenBook 17 Fold fared better than I expected. It lasted 14 hours and 9 minutes in desktop mode, and an even better 15:26 in laptop mode. That's a good mark for any portable PC, and as long as you're not overloading the processor, the ZenBook's battery holds up during everyday use as well.